cool.
Weird.
We're seeing Deadpool, oh my gosh!
Think that wasn't it. My sister has it. Yes. It's you.
I know.
Wintertime here at Hogsmeade Village.
Lieutenant Dane.
Hello, Forrest.
You got new legs.
Titanium alloy.
Time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It's happening. It's dish time. I've always wanted to do this in front of you.
Creating content that enlightens and lifts you up.
Dish, sir, dish.
Me at Splash Mountain, just pepper these in here.
Hello, everyone. This is Kermit the Frog reporting live from the final showing of Muppet Vision 3D.
Right? God, I missed our daily dishes.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the dish!
Hey. So, let's dish.
What do you want to dish about?
Anything you guys want. This is your time.
Welcome back, fun fam. Follow the Bradley's fun. My name is Ronnie Bradley, the internet's Mr. Nice Guy. I'm just a regular. I don't know. I wasn't sure if to go with the Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Regular Guy. I don't know. It's so funny. Mexican Iron Man always talks about not being a YouTuber. And there are so many different ways today to be a YouTuber that I don't even know that it matters. Guys, thanks for being here. A lot of people coming in from the pro show. I really appreciate him with the redirect on the fly because this is a special edition brought to you by the super chatters of yesterday. Speaking of which, there was a super chat. Who was it? Was it Packing? Somebody had left a super chat on the pro show and I was going to get to as a $2 super chat. It was like, anyway. Thanks for coming in. If you're watching this on the replay, click below, comment below, replay gang. Please hit that like button on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Click that notifications bell because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm and get notified of all of our uploads here. Follow the Bradley's fun. Oh my gosh, look at all the people coming in. Thank you guys so much for being here for the special edition today. Again, this was from the super chats yesterday. So super chat goal was met and exceeded yesterday. Thank you for that, for all those who contributed. And I said that I would do an extra dish, and I am for two reasons. One, because of that, and two, because my pixie dust pass is blocked out of the Disney parks this week. So there you go. So I just want to say hi to everybody that's coming in. Thank you so much for being here. Just saw this is a brand new name. Paulaviter. Is it Paulaviter or Paulaviter Gamer? I love that name. That is very, very cool. Welcome to the dish. Welcome to the dish. I'm Ronnie Bradley. By the way, if you see a hype button down below, please do click the hype button and let me say hi to everybody that's coming in here. Snortapoopaskue Burr says hello, humans and other critters. Ewan Kumia gives the thumbs up. Appreciate that. First Dragon Queen lets me know once again that I am running a little bit behind. That happens like all the time. So yeah. Starting right after. Yes, Sean, that was the whole point. Is I wanted to start as quickly as I could. Like I set the times up, and sometime if I'm going to read a raid from pro, I try to do it like exactly when that ends, if I can. It just kind of worked out today. I arbitrarily set the time up at 2:35. I had no idea that his show was going to be almost exactly that length, though. It just kind of worked out. Luckily for me. Kit Kat is here with Pro Raid Chief William Schweikert. Pro Raid, thank you so much. Yes, 2 minutes late. My gosh, 2 minutes. You sound like a certain other person who I will not name, but breaks me over the coals when I'm late for anything. Kit Kat, Chief William Guy, flying blind in a rocket cycle. I am so working on your clip. I really am. It's over here. It's over here. I'll tell you what, Flying Blind, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do something I haven't done for anybody else. And I'm just going to show you a little preview of what you're, there you go. Yeah, that's it. And I promise that's part of the clip. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Troy Gustafsson is here. He's talking Daredevil right when I have to go leave to get tacos. I don't know if you guys are watching Daredevil. That is what I'm going to be talking about in the special edition today. We're not going super long or anything like that, but I want to give you my kind of feelings about Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And there's a reason why, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Snort Poopas Culture Bear. Let's get to Kaladin. 910 is here. Trying to see who else we have in the chat. Don't want to miss anybody. O2RR. If I miss you, I apologize. Pro Raid. Hello to all the beautiful people. Bruce Newhouse, by the way, yes, you and many others. If you haven't seen my post on the member tab, if you're a member of the channel, we are doing the Figment giveaway soon, possibly Sunday, or maybe we'll do it next week. But you have another chance to enter, and the post is on the channel right now with the list of all of the people who have entered so far. I went through and got got that. So if you're a member of the channel, you want to enter and you haven't yet, then do that. Chief William Schweikert, what's up? What's up? Willful McGruff, the crime dog. Only you can prevent. No, that's forest fires. That's a whole different character. That's the bear, right? Hello, Wolfle. I love McGruff, the crime dog, though. AKA Adventure Man. That is true. I did not professionally play Superman. So the thing behind the story behind the Superman costume and Dean Cain is that this was a long time ago, before I even met Dean. This happened on Twitter, when it was Twitter, not X. But I showed Dean a picture of me in the Superman costume on Twitter a long time ago, and he actually replied to me and said, "Hey, that's my costume from when I was Superman." And that's true. That my Superman costume is one I made myself, and I based it on the Dean Cain version from The Adventures of Superman. That was a very close to just about maybe a few years after I professionally played Batman at Six Flags. Paul Vider Gamer with popcorn and the sunglasses and the other stuff. Thank you. Hey, yes, I'm happy that you are here. Yes, because of spring break, I am blocked out of the parks this week. So not that I necessarily would be there. I might do more lives during the week. My wife is definitely encouraging me to do more lives. Nathan 7478, First Dragon Queen, official timekeeper of the pro community. Yes, we appreciate that. And Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle. Hey, I gotta look. Did that work toward the goal today? Because I think it might have. View channel. Where are my lives? There's one of my lives. And no. You click on your own channel. It's really weird, but you get a good night. I got 3 ads clicking into my own channel. Yes, that does. We have a very, very small, because it's a special edition, so small goal, but I'm going to get back to this one in just a moment. I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Did they do what they did in season 1 and took out the wife's boyfriend? I don't know who the wife is that you're talking about, but I will be talking about who did get taken out on the Tuesday episode. There will be spoilers. If you guys have not been following Daredevil season 2, Born Again season 2, there's going to be some spoilers, because I'm going to talk about everything that I've seen so far. But I think that we've caught up with the chat and everybody. Bruce says, I've heard Daredevil is anti-ice, so I didn't watch it. I will explain that. I think it's a dumb take. Not your fault, by the way. I just think that the people that are saying that, they're trying to correlate something that's in the show with what ice is, and they're very different entities, and it's really stupid for them to try and correlate. Basically, they have an anti-vigilante task force, and they're trying to correlate that with ice, and it's not at all. I mean, if you don't have the brain power to separate the fictional version of what they're doing in the show with the reality of what's actually happening out there when it comes to immigration, totally different thing. Yeah. So I love the show. Me personally, I am separating out that stuff because ICE is very different, and what ICE is doing is very different from what they are trying to say that the anti-vigilante task force is doing in the show. It's really, really stupid. Plus, they filmed the show before any of that news came out. So if they did that because they knew that was going to happen, that's really weird upper level stuff that I don't want to get into when it comes to government and that word that is begins with con and ends with spiracy. I don't know if I'm going to get onto that YouTube. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You're the apple in my eye, the cream in my coffee. You are the energon that gets this guy to transform and roll out to be here with you.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
And we do have a super chat that is coming from Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for $1.99 for the goal and for Rocky. Yes, we'll do a clipathon at the end of the show today if we get the goal. My clipathon is different than Pro's clipathon because we have different clips. But you know what? The clipathon would be good if I get to the goal. I'll do it a little bit different, playing the clips because I want your feedback and maybe on what clips we should add. But the goal is real simple. It's $2 or up for the super chats today, and it's only 5 of them, so it's a pretty low goal because I don't normally go live. But if you guys want to donate more, that's great. I'm not going to not accept $1,000. I don't think they go up to that. That was a joke. But if you don't have it, please don't give. Please do not put yourself in financial trouble to give. If you do have it and you can do it, that's great because we celebrate you. Anybody that watches this show, The Dish, knows that we celebrate you. It's an interactive show. So when anybody is doing a super chat, super thing, super sticker, PayPal, buy me a coffee, somebody buys something from the spread shop, which I'll show you in a second, or and lets me know in the chat, hey, I bought something from the spread shop. Or you do like membership milestone, gifted membership, any of those types of things. Somebody becomes a member, we celebrate any of that and all of that. And how do we do a celebration? Well, it's a dance clip celebration. We want you to celebrate with us in the chat below. If you're a member of the channel, there's custom emojis you can use. We added a new one today for Erica. She's not going to be with us on the show, but it was suggested yesterday we do an Erica emoji. So for hanging with Erica and Raph and Brood Banter, we got an Erica emoji. You can put that one up. Any of the custom emojis will do, or if you're just watching the show, you're not a member of the channel, please join in. Some firework emojis, some rocket ship emojis, any kind of emojis will do. Boo. Anyway, we're going to practice right now by celebrating Flying Blind and a Rocket Cycle, whose clip I'm working hard on, but there's been issues generating what I want. So I'm typing in and the thing, and you'll see when I get to it, but it's what it is. Anyhow, you know how I like to make the clips as excellent as I possibly can. I'm kind of a perfectionist. It's like my worst trait when it comes to YouTube. It's like I do everything myself, and I'm a perfectionist. So there you go. But in the name of non-perfectionism, let's celebrate together right now. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for the goal and for Rocky. This is what a celebration clip looks like. Please join in with us with the emojis. Let's go. Let's celebrate. Thank you, Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle. Yes. And as far as I don't have it shared yet. Let me put this up. Let me share my screen with you. Really, what a world. Okay. Really good show, everyone. Boy, I wrote something wrong. That's interesting. Okay. I'll do there. Yeah, right over here. This is what we want to share. Let me get this up on the screen. This is my spread shop. Whoops, there we go. Come on, there you go. All right. So we have Make Disney Walt Again. There's my hat. All right. If you guys want to get the Make Disney Walt Again hat, $22.49, it's 15% off right now. There it is. That's what it looks like. I got so many compliments on this hat at the Geeks and Gamers meetup. Did you not see the clip Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle? Do we need to play it again? Am I the only one? I'm assuming the only one not seeing the clips. Let me see. Let me know if you guys see this. Did you see, like, what did it do? What did it do? Let me, you know.
Right.
Uh-oh. God, if you're not seeing the clips, that's kind of weird.
Weird.
I'm trying to see if I'm seeing. Okay, no, I'm seeing them on my end. So hopefully it's okay. Anyway, let's get back to this. Let me go to, I wanted to show you. By the way, you can change the color of this, so make it less offensive, I guess. I don't know. It's not really supposed to be offensive. It's supposed to be funny. I got a lot of comments and compliments on this hat when I wore it at the Geeks and Gamers meetup on the Saturday night of MegaCon. But if we go to all products right now, if you notice up here, it says 15% off. Let me see. I'm going to refresh it because it's 4 days left. 4 days left. So through the weekend, 15% off on everything. We have a design about Reed E. Creek. This is hilarious. If you actually look close at what the design says, let me zoom in on the design, because you can get this design on a lot of things, but it's basically a gravestone in front of a haunted mansion that reads, "Here lies the ashes of Reed E. Creek, with foot stuck in mouth, their outlook turned bleak." I just think it's funny. Anyhow, maybe it's just me. That's okay. The QR code on the back will lead people to the channel. That's what that does. But we have that product, and then we have the Follow the Bradley's Fun. I still need to get myself a mug, but basically $17. It's like $15 right now for the coffee mug. If you want to get that, because it's 15% off. So I might have to actually buy one myself. Okay, maybe a couple of them, but I haven't gotten that yet. And then there's water bottles, there's hats, there's the dark mugs, full color mugs. Wow, that's really cool looking. So I surprise myself sometimes when I see these. That's cool. So honestly, yes, indeed. Any of that Follow the Bradley's Fun merch. There's also the dish. If you're a fan of the dish and you want to advertise the dish out there for people, it shows like the dish logo that it's a Follow the Bradley's Fun. It's on a shirt. You can get it that way. All kinds of things. So yes, indeed. It's all there. It's all for fun. And enjoy it. Hey, did I see Erica and Raph pop into the chat? Erica, are you there? Oh, there she is. Erica, did you see your new emoji? You have an emoji. Yeah, so Erica's got a new emoji. You can put it in the chat if you want. Yes, I made you an emoji. Jared Markham 7300 says, "I'm seeing him. There must be a problem on your end, Flying Blind." What I'm curious as to what you did see, because if you saw the expression I make while I'm playing the clips, oh my gosh, I'm offended by it not being offensive. Anyhow, so thank you guys so much. And if you chime in and we meet the goal, we're going to do a clip-thon just for fun. And the plan for the show, by the way, this will connect to the Vash Sky Park cast, but that doesn't start till 7:00 tonight. I just needed someplace I could redirect to, and that was available. So there's going to be a big break between the show and the Vash Sky Park cast. I'm just doing this because I wanted to chime in, see you guys, talk about something that I watched because it's like in my head. And there's a reason for that. So I don't even know if I'm really calling this a story, but well, we've got to call it something. So I guess I will call it a story. Daredevil is back on the small screen, not the big screen, just the small screen. But this time, Daredevil is connected to what's happening on the big screen. And that's basically official at this point in time. For anybody that ever watched the Netflix Daredevil series, you will know that they loosely connected that series to the events of the MCU. It was Marvel Television in the 2010s was very strange because it was connected and disconnected. Like basically the event television could reference things that happened in the movies, but the movies couldn't reference anything that happened in the TV shows. Well, now we know that the movies absolutely reference things that happen in the TV shows, at least the Disney Plus shows. And it's a little weird. It's a little convoluted. I don't think they do a great. It's been a major disappointment for the most part. For example, the way they've connected them just hasn't worked. To give the first example of that, and you guys can let me know. This is going to be an interactive. It's just me here today, so it's me and you in the chat, right? So, the first television show that was an official MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe television show, was WandaVision, which definitely connected events from the movies into that show. But when that show connected back to the movies, it connected it to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and it really didn't connect very well because, for me at least, yes, they showed WandaVision using the Darkhold at the end of the show, but they didn't really go into any large explanation of what had happened to her when they did the Doctor Strange movie. And so there was so much of that story that, like, how does this make sense? How did she get from the fact that she had overcome what she had done in the television show, and now all of a sudden this Darkhold has taken hold of her, and that we don't really get a good explanation of why that happened. It's really weird. So they tried to connect it. I don't think they've done a very good job of the connections between the Disney Plus television shows and the movies. So Jared Markham, for example, yes, I gave up on the MCU roughly 3 episodes in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Granted, I'm more of a normie. I just followed it because I had family members that were really into it. Totally get that. And here's the thing, like, if you're watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, you're like, wait a second, am I going to have to keep up with all of this to understand what happens in the next Captain America movie, which then is not going to come out for 4 more years? That literally makes no sense whatsoever. Like, the timelines and everything is so messed up. They have, the journey from Iron Man 1 to Avengers Endgame in the movies, that journey made sense. And then they did a couple little connective things that were fun to watch. You didn't need to watch them, but they put them like on DVDs, and they're all on Disney Plus now. But if you're not that into it, you could just watch the movies. And now it's like you got to do homework. So Marvel gets into this. Netflix does Daredevil, and they did such a good job with Daredevil because they got the Kingpin so right. I actually think that they got the Kingpin more right than Daredevil. So here's the comic book. Daredevil. You can't really see it. It's Born Again. That's what they named the television show on Disney Plus. The television show on Netflix was just called Daredevil. The third season of Daredevil, they did the Born Again storyline from this comic book. So it's now that's why I was like, what the heck are they going to do? By the way, there's some interesting characters in this comic book that were not in Daredevil in that series, but were used in other series. For example, there is this guy here with the flag tattoo on his face. His name is Nuke. He was actually, they don't have the flag tattoo on his face, but the character was actually in, I think, was it Jessica Jones season 2, I think. Hey, Tom. All good. Yeah, this is a special edition, Tom. A lot of people didn't know I'm doing it. I just wanted to, I wanted to talk about Daredevil because of how they got him so right in Netflix, just generally speaking. And not everything in Netflix was perfect. The Defenders went downhill. I love what they did with the Elektra character versus what they did in the movie. So you had the movie, if you remember, with Ben Affleck. I'm switching some things up down here. Give me just a second. All right, so you had the Ben Affleck movie. He played Daredevil in the early 2000s. They brought back his version of the Elektra character for Deadpool and Wolverine. And then you had Bullseye was in that. A version of Kingpin was in that, but none of it was anything really like the comic books. They were trying to capture the magic of the early Spider-Man films from the early 2000s. Jennifer Garner's version, yeah. Oh, hi, baby. I see you. My beautiful wife is chiming in. Yes, the Jennifer Garner version of that. And oh, Troy got his tacos. Well, we're just beginning to talk about Daredevil, Troy, so you come back just in time. Got the book right here. This book is phenomenal. You see how they've drawn Kingpin here? And Vincent D'Onofrio plays Kingpin in such a spot-on way, like a way that he's imagined from the comics. I feel like the Matt Murdock character, like Matt in the comics is very blonde, and he's very much a dark-haired brunette in this. But as far as the character, I think they really did a good job of getting the character fairly spot on. You do see in Born Again, I'm trying to bring it up. Oh, and interestingly enough, Captain America is also in this book. I don't think they'll have Captain America, Steve Rogers, in any of the Daredevil series right now. Captain America is very much in this book. There it is. So this costume, you actually have a very good version of this costume this season in Daredevil Born Again. My thoughts are probably going to go all over the place on this, and I apologize for where my thoughts are going on this. Feel free to chime in with any chats or super chats or anything like that. If I get too distracted and you want to get me back on track, that's fine. Things are a little bit different here. I know Chief Williams says, I stopped watching the MCU after Infinity War. I saw Doctor Strange movie where he battled Scarlet Witch, and I regretted watching it. The MCU is a shell of its former self. I 100% agree. So, and one of the reasons I kind of like Daredevil is Daredevil sort of is, when it was a Netflix series, it was MCU adjacent, but it really didn't take place in the MCU. I love the fact that Daredevil's first rescue, the first thing that he ever did, and we didn't see much of this afterwards, but in the first several episodes of the Daredevil series on Netflix, they took on human trafficking, which to me is the single biggest issue of our time, and nobody talks about it. So the fact that they were willing to take that on, and that's exactly what Daredevil was doing, was rescuing people from being trafficked. I thought that was excellent, and I love what they were doing. I mean, that was amazing. That issue, that's what the movie that I'm in with Dean Cain, a couple movies that I'm in with Dean Cain are about, actually. And I play a good guy in one and a bad guy in another. But it was funny because the character that I play in that movie with Dean Cain, in a very, very different way than Daredevil did it, I was doing the same thing, which is rescuing people from being trafficked. As a matter of fact, this is weird. I literally just thought of this in my mind. The first time you see Daredevil on the screen acting as Daredevil, he is performing a rescue of young ladies that that the bad guys are trying to traffic. And the first time you see me on the screen in the movie that I'm in with Dean Cain, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just doing it in a very different way with no superpowers. And the character I play is quite gay. So it's a true story. Yeah, it's a very different way, but it's pretty funny. And Bruce, yeah, totally 100% agree. I wish they would tackle that issue more. They've gotten completely away from it in the storylines, but it is what it is. So the 3 seasons that we got of Daredevil on Netflix, I thought were excellent with slightly diminishing returns. I really like probably season 1 the best. Kingpin, amazing. Kingpin's wife was awesome. Then Disney tried to revive the series. And they completely nerfed the Daredevil character by putting him in one of the most awful series ever, which was She-Hulk. And it's like we don't even mention that happened. I think there's an incredibly brief reference to it. They nerfed Daredevil and they nerfed Kingpin in Echo, and they kind of nerfed him in Hawkeye too. Trying to connect everything, and I get that they're trying to connect everything, but the writers that did Daredevil for the Netflix series, they understood them. So halfway through filming the first season of Daredevil Born Again, they were looking at the footage, and whoever, Kevin Feige, I don't know how to pronounce this. Yeah, exactly, Troy. Exactly. Shh. We shall call her the Green Girl with no name. Anyway, oh, that was so awful. I was so disappointed. I was disappointed in She-Hulk from the time that they started to show trailers. I was like, she's not really going to look that bad, is she? Like, she looked bad. The CGI was awful. The storyline was awful. Her character was awful. The acting was horrible. Everything about She-Hulk was just, God. I mean, like, how could Marvel have dropped the ball so much? I have no idea. So getting back to Born Again, though, halfway through the first season, they brought in different writers, and they've all admitted, everybody that's involved with it admits that Daredevil Born Again season 1 is not the show that it was supposed to be. That is a Frankenstein's monster of a show that is stitched together of different things that they had, and it didn't work the way it was supposed to. There were some amazing scenes. They definitely showed Kingpin by the end of it going back to the villain that he's supposed to be. And Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, in my opinion, is probably the second best villain in the MCU. I say second best villain. It's hard. Actually, it's a toss. Who the best villain in the MCU is sort of a toss up between Loki and Thanos, but Thanos the more you think about Thanos, the more you realize that his villainy was just dumb, right? Like it's like you have the power of the entire universe in your glove, and you don't just create more resources for people, or it just doesn't make any sense, right? So, but he was portrayed well. Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin might actually be the best villain in the MCU because, for one, he basically, because of who Daredevil is, he's never going to be offed, right? Because Daredevil will constantly save his life, because that's not often people's against Daredevil's code. And so it keeps him alive and coming back, and it's kind of funny, but he does. Anyway, so we go through season 1, blah blah blah. Season 2. Let me first of all explain the comparisons that have been made. Getting it out there, people are comparing the Kingpin to Trump. All right, they just are. It's a dumb comparison. They are nothing like each other, really. There's people are trying. It's more of a thing where people are trying to make Trump into a Kingpin-like person than the reverse, because Trump is nothing like Kingpin, not really anything like Kingpin. He's basically some guy who was a billionaire who gave up retirement to try and serve the people in a way that only he could, because he's outside of the normal political system. And that is not at all what Kingpin is doing. Kingpin is young enough in the series that he is basically in the prime of his life when he manipulates his way to becoming the mayor. Yeah, I know. I still laugh because the actor that played Kingpin was in Full Metal Jacket, Detective in Law and Order, a Marine recruit that went crazy, detective, and now Mayor Kingpin. Yeah, exactly. D'Onofrio is excellent as an actor. So there's that one comparison between him and the president. Then the other comparison is this task force, the anti-vigilante task force. They operate completely outside of the law. And here's where they are very, very different than immigration. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that organization is a federal agency. Okay. The Anti-Vigilante Task Force is an illegal police brigade made up by a city mayor. It's what a city mayor who has determined martial law and manipulated his way to getting the governor of the state on board, even though none of that makes any sense. So it's very, very fictional. It really does not correspond with anything that's actually going on in real life. The things that they show this task force doing, it's another thing where they've taken this horrible fictionalized thing that's in the show, and they're trying to pretend that in real life it's like this, but they are really not. It's like the same correlation with Trump. Trump is nothing like Kingpin in reality. ICE is nothing like the Anti-Vigilante Task Force in reality. They're not trying to capture vigilantes. They're, people that entered the country not in a legal way. That's totally it's very, very different than United States citizens that are specifically going out to break the law by offing people, like Bullseye does, or the Punisher does. And while Daredevil doesn't off them, but he definitely assaults people in not a legal manner whatsoever. So yeah, it's a similar type of a thing. So let me get to season 2, and I will get to what I like and what I dislike. There's a lot of things that I like there's a lot of things that I disliked in season 1, and they carried over a little of those things. So there was a girlfriend that Matt Murdock had in season 1, that her character carries over, and she's almost like a bad person, but I've learned what happens to her in the comics. And yeah. That Heather Glenn, I think, is her name. And now that I know what happens to her in the comics, I kind of understand why they brought her into this. They're really trying to change things up for Matt Murdock, and oh, my mom is here. Hi, Mom. Just doing a special today. Just to be here and basically talk to my audience, my feelings about Daredevil, and thank you guys for being so generous and just being really great with the super chats during the week. And last month was fantastic. And I appreciate, you guys don't know, like, literally I'm here because I appreciate you guys being here. So thank you so much for all you do. Yeah, he is a great actor, and really that's what Hi, Rob. Bruce is telling you hi. Bruce, the Hulk and Batman, and of course the great Bruce Lee. So at the beginning of Daredevil Born Again, Daredevil and Karen are very much together as a couple. And that kind of came out of nowhere in a way. She comes back at the end of season 1. For those of you that don't know, they offed Foggy Nelson in season 1 in the very first episode. They're 4 episodes into Born Again season 2. And I am liking it a lot better. And Born Again season 2 feels a lot more like the Daredevil Netflix series. Netflix Daredevil season 1. Yeah. So there's no Born Again storyline in Born Again. It's another thing that Marvel does in the MCU. They use something from the comics as a title that really doesn't relate to the story. They're not doing the Born Again storyline. They did this storyline in season 3. As a matter of fact, there are shots in season 3 that are, I'm just see if I can find it, because there's one really specific shot in this comic book. Oh yeah, here. So see that panel right there, that comic book panel? That's in season 3 of Daredevil on Netflix. And they reveal that his mom, his biological mom, is a nun, and she ends up taking care of him. And kind of sad they didn't have the ability to use the Daily Bugle to do. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here's another one. Very, very similar shots in Daredevil season 3 to what's in the panels here. So Netflix did a really good job. So for the Born Again series, they just used that title to bring back Daredevil and make him born again in the MCU. Yeah, basically, I think there was that. What ended up happening is I think they had to bring in one of the producers from the Daredevil Netflix series to fix it. And what they have said that season 2 is very much what they all who are involved in making want to create. So I was very hopeful going in. I'm very, very critical of anything that Marvel is doing that has sucked, which is 90% of everything that they've done lately. All of last year, like I'm trying to rewatch right now, the Thunderbolts. And what bothers me is in a lot of the stuff that I watch, I see so much potential. I see a lot of potential in the Thunderbolts, but it's so wasted by what is her name? Pugh. The new Black Widow character. She's so depressing in that film that it's hard to watch. And she never really overcomes it. But Daredevil, Florence Pugh, thank you. Florence Pugh, yeah. Her name is very accurate to the character because she's playing a character that I'm just like, Pugh. I would have loved if Thunderbolts was not called the Thunderbolts because it's Marvel giving a title that gives you a false inclination of what the show is going to be about, what the movie is going to be about. That team of Thunderbolts is not the Thunderbolts from the comics at all, and it also has nothing to do with Thunderbolt Ross. They called them the Thunderbolts because it was supposed to be her Little League name, Little League team name. That's so dumb. I'm like, that is so like, who are these writers? They're awful writers. And Thunderbolts was, it was an attempted movie. What I was going to say about it is if they would have made that a Sentry-focused movie and it would have been called Sentry, that would have been far more interesting. If the storyline would have featured more of Sentry and focused, and it would have been more from his point of view, I think that the movie would have been far more interesting. And yeah, you could have still done the Thunderbolts story, whatever, that team along with that. Have you ever seen pictures of her as Black Widow? There are pictures out there. My wife playing Black Widow. That is true. Because she has a Black Widow costume. I have been Captain America and she's been Black Widow at Halloween. Just Halloween costumes. But anyway, and she looked amazing, by the way. So it was really great. But anyway, getting back to Born Again. So my point is that last year, the 3 movies, so disappointing. The Captain America was basically Captain America was an awful sequel to the Hulk film. It was so convoluted, so strange. And then there was Thunderbolts, which was kind of okay. And then there was the Fantastic Four, which was a fantastic flop and a massive disappointment. So much, 90%, 90 to maybe 95% of everything that Marvel has put out since Endgame has just been slop. I will say there's a couple high points for me personally that some people would absolutely disagree with. And that's okay. It's just my opinion. I actually liked Shang-Chi. Don't much care for the actor that plays him and some of his strange takes that he's had in the press, but the actual movie Shang-Chi, I was on board with it. I liked it. It felt like the most Disney movie of Marvel, because there were elements of Shang-Chi that felt like I was watching more of a Disney princess movie than a Marvel movie, but it was okay. I liked it. I liked the fighting. Loved the bus fight. I thought the bus fight was done really well. I would still love to see Shang-Chi and Iron Fist, who both were not rated very well, but it would be fun to see them yeah, that's funny. It's a weird world. It's a weird world. But most of I can't even get through Secret Invasion. I've tried and I can't get through it. It's that bad. It's so when something is so bad, I can't even get myself to continue watching it. It's awfully bad. But Daredevil Born Again is compelling, and they brought back Bullseye in this last episode. It was great. They did this whole long excerpt of how Bullseye, his mornings went. I don't know if you saw all of it, Troy, but if you have, more power to you. I can't watch it. So I've seen clips of what happens at the end. I haven't seen the end. I have no idea. The Bullseye character, Benjamin Poindexter, is done so well, so much better than Colin Farrell's horrible Bullseye in the movie. And they start off with showing his morning while they're playing New York State of Mind by Billy Joel, and it's done so well. It really is. And this is what I like about Born Again season 2, where it really compares to the Netflix series. It's done in a way that it feels like it could be in reality, but at the same time is comic booky enough without crossing that line into camp. It's like, oh yes, I'm watching a comic book property that came from comic books, but it's just right up to that line, walks right up to that line where it's not camp. Like, and to give you an example of that, Bullseye, after doing this whole thing in a diner, when he walks out of the diner, he takes a ketchup bottle and you see him squeeze it. Obviously, they couldn't figure out a way to actually show it. But when the door closes of what he squeezed on the door, it is a target, like a bullseye. That's the thing on his head that he had made with ketchup on the door. So I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, comic accurate Mandarin would have been nice. The Mandarin was definitely not the same anytime as it was in the comics. It's me. I'm just an actor. Whatever you don't love, you can have a go with the girls, right? I thought that was funny when he comes out of the bathroom. He's like, I would not go in there for 20 minutes. That was funny. So my point is that so far, I'm kind of liking it. It's still not as good. It's still not as good as the Netflix series, but season 2 is off to a better start than season 1. And they did something in the last episode. If you guys haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, I'm about to spoil the heck out of this. Okay. Are you ready? I'll give you a 3, 2, 1. Big spoiler here. It would appear as if they have offed the Kingpin's wife. And the act itself, technically speaking, was the fault of Kingpin, because it was a shard of glass that bounced off something that he was trying to block that went into her temple. Right here. Yes. Love Trevor in Wonder Man. Wonder Man wasn't bad. I never really did a review of Wonder Man, but I did watch it all. It was a really, really different type of a story. It didn't feel very much like a superhero story at all, but it was okay. It was an okay TV show. I'd give Wonder Man 6, 7. But right now, I'm giving Born Again about an 8 to 8.5. So yeah, it's up there. I'm enjoying it. Let's show you what somebody else has to say about it. This one's going to be out of IGN. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 review. Marvel's Man Without Fear pulls his punches in a politically shaky follow-up. So again, people trying to compare the politics of this to what's going on in real life, I don't think it's a good comparison at all. After spending much of the debut season of Daredevil Born Again searching for a purpose and a reason to suit up again, Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock got more than he bargained for with the rise of Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, make that the newly elected Mayor Wilson Fisk. The rest of us, meanwhile, had to settle for a reshoot-heavy salvage job that never really found its footing. That is true. This time around, the Man Without Fear finds himself in the middle chapter of a revival series that would seem to be everything we've always wanted from a Marvel production: darker, artist-driven, and more political than ever. Well, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. See, I think that when they talk about the politics of this film, the politics are really entrenched in the show and in the fiction of the show, I don't think that they see, I don't correlate them with anything that's going on in our real world. That's just me personally. I think people are convoluting that. And I think they're doing it on purpose to try and hurt what's going on in the real world, but it's not. I don't think it levels up to that. So it scrambled to set itself apart from the MCU and provide a more adult prestige TV-like experience. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trips over its own feet, misses the mark. That's not to say showrunner Dario Scardapane or Scardapani, or so however you pronounce his name, I don't know, Dario, and his creative team are lacking in ambition whatsoever. Despite a street-level perspective, this is a sprawling story with genuine stakes as the fate of the city, its people, and its overmatched protectors hang in the balance. It's a refreshing change of pace from any number of Marvel or DC spectacles that are solely concerned with how cool and flawless their superheroes look. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough to sustain the momentum of a larger narrative, practically bursting with great ideas, but a glaring inability to execute them. This review, I believe, came out before episode 4. What's maddening is that season 2 should have had everything working in its favor to deliver the best Daredevil installment since the original Netflix series. There's the killer news status quo, which puts Murdoch and his vigilante friends on the back foot following Mayor Fisk take over the city. The well-established chemistry and volatile history behind the Murdoch Fisk dynamic has always been Marvel's secret weapon, long before these characters were folded into the studio's larger cinematic universe. Add to that the promised return of fan favorites like Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones and a villainous plot ripped straight from a real... See, it's... Again, the villainous plot is not ripped straight from real-world headlines at all. I don't know where... these outlets are clearly trying to convolute something that is not really convolutable. Has the makings of the MCU's easiest and most convincing slam dunk since Avengers Endgame. But when it's all said and done, each of these supposed strengths falls frustratingly short of expectations. Anyway, it's this is dumb. Again, here's another dumb take. Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is again sunk by a slow start. If you've watched any of the Daredevil series from Netflix, you know that it had a slow start. That's kind of the way that those showrunners and the people from Netflix always did things. They have a long buildup, but actually now that we're at episode 5 is coming next, and what happened in episode 4, it's going to make the character of Kingpin far more interesting than he has been, because he's no longer going to be tied to his wife, which means he's going to probably let loose as the most evil he's ever been. And what I'm saying is, while you have a flawed villain in Daredevil, he's not the superhero that you'd want anybody to be. None of the Daredevil superheroes are, right? So Daredevil, Bullseye is towing the line between good, trying to be good, but really he's bad. Still, I mean, putting himself on the side of the Punisher. The Punisher's a bad, like the Punisher's not a good dude. Like he's really not. He could have been, but like what he does to people, that's not the right answer. Daredevil's not the right answer either. You don't go around beating people up. It's really weird. Like, but that's what makes these characters fun to watch as characters, is because they are flawed heroes. And then you have a villain, though. Even with a flawed hero, you need a villain that's really, really, truly evil. And that's where I think Kingpin is about to go. So yes, Troy Gustafson, you are right. Kingpin Unleashed. I would love to know if you guys are watching, if you're watching Daredevil Born Again, let me know what your thoughts are on it. I may post this as a video later. I don't know. I probably won't do it something a little bit different when I do a video on it. But I'm personally enjoying it, and I just wanted to share my thoughts. The characters, you don't have Foggy back. I was hoping Foggy would come back, or maybe they still could bring Foggy back in some way, because Daredevil without Foggy doesn't seem like Daredevil, like Matt Murdock without Foggy. Karen's back. I want to see Elektra return. I think that's going to happen. What I think they're doing with this season is I think they're setting up a new Defenders. I think there's going to be I think they're going to do this like they did the Netflix series where they did Daredevil season 1, Daredevil season 2, then the Defenders, and then Daredevil season 3. I think that they're going to do. Why is it's just one of those real world things where these heroes are flawed because they do horrible. I think it's because in real life, a true hero is going to do everything they can to not hurt anybody in any way physically. And when you get to superheroes on pages, they hit people. That's what they do. And so it's like that. They're really technically all the heroes are. Batman's very flawed. Fun to watch, but the guy's not all with it upstairs. Real life heroes are our real life heroes. Yeah, can't heroes just be heroes? You know who our real life heroes are? The good police officers out there, the good fire people out there. And so Troy says, did not love season 1. I am enjoying season 2. They're steering the ship closer to the Netflix show. I would agree with that. See, that's where I am. I did not enjoy most of season 1. I enjoyed snippets and excerpts of season 1, but it was like, I didn't feel like I was watching the Netflix Daredevil. And this one, I feel like they're steering it more back towards what the Netflix Daredevil was. Season 1 was of the Netflix Daredevil was by far the best, though. And there are characters that I'd like to see come back. Karen's back in a big way, and I was never a fan of Karen. I just don't like her. I really don't like that character. For some reason, I really like Daredevil with Elektra more than Karen, and I love what they did with the Elektra and the actress that portrayed her in the Netflix series. And now that Elektra, like, she walked off, she's clearly alive. We know that from the Defenders series. What they've done with her is really interesting because she's kind of on the side of things as Scarlet Witch was in Strange. But I would like to see that character come back. And the Defenders, I think they're going to bring all the Defenders back. We know Jessica Jones is coming back. She'll probably be in the next episode. But I would like to see all the rest of the Defenders come back. I'd like to see Finn Jones be able to have a redemption arc for his Iron Fist and see that portrayed better. And there's just other things that I'd like to see. That's really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you for being here. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle. We only got 1 out of 5 for the goal, but I appreciate it, and I think it deserves to be celebrated. So we will celebrate Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle with a little bit of our good friend Culture Bear. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes I have to save lives, but what the Punisher does, it's just a little bit much. Thank you, Paul Vada Gamer, chiming in with the celebration. Hey, thanks for being here today. This was a special episode, an additional episode of The Dish, a lot different than a normal dish that we have a panel talking about things. This is just my thoughts about Daredevil and where we are with Born Again Season 2. If you haven't had a chance to watch it and you were a fan of the Netflix series at all, I'd go check out Born Again Season 2. Thank you for that. That is my recommendation. So far, so good. Again, I'd say on a sliding scale, depending on where you are in the episodes, it's somewhere between a 6.5 and an 8. Definitely not a 9 or a 10. It's not knocking out of the park yet, but I truly liked where they ended episode 4. If you're watching it, you know what I'm talking about. It was a really, really interesting scene with Bullseye. They've also got some interesting characters in there, not race swaps per se, but where they have a relative of a character, and the relative is now a female relative of a formerly male character who kind of serves the same position as the character. They have BB Yerk instead of Ben Yerk, but she's like, I want to say she's Ben Yerk's niece. No, hey, if you check it out, I would love to know, you come back in here later and comment on the video, like go back to the video after you watched it and let me know. But yeah, it's an interesting play. The comics are far more interesting. This is way better than what I've seen on the screen from Marvel, sadly, but it is what it is, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here today. Both are nieces. That's what I thought. So the White Tiger character is also a niece, and BB. I wonder if they'll become friends. All right, so this is good, baby. I don't know if you're watching. Chief William Schweikert says I should do a super chat goal where if you reach the goal, the wife joins you for an episode of The Dish. Well, we did that before and it did work out. So she may do some shows with me on Sunday, but I would have to ask her in advance if that's okay to make that a goal and see if she's up for that. Yeah, the comics were always more interesting. That's true. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for being here today. Hanging with me for this very different, very special episode of The Dish. You guys are absolutely my VIPs.
Sir, seeing as how the VP is such a VIP, shouldn't we keep the PC on the QT? Because if it leaks to the VC, you can end up an MIA and then we'd all be put on KP.
I would like to leave the room now.
Oh, yes, sir.
I love that clip. Anyhow, it's been fun. We'll see you, Troy. I'm sending everybody over as far as link-wise over to what's going to be the Vash Sky podcast. But again, that does not begin until 7 p.m. But guys, you'll have the link. You can go in there, put the notification on for the Vash Sky podcast, which starts tonight at 7 or 7:30, I think. Anyhow, until next time, it's been awesome. I appreciate you guys being here. And check out, if you're a member of the channel, you can check out the giveaway for Figment. I got that post up there. We'll be doing that within the next week or two. Definitely before 2 weeks. So until next time, we'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao. Thank you.
Dishes are done, man. Cleans them down to the shop.